Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Townsville Star FM Stadium for the last regular season round matchups in the QBL, with the Townsville Flames tonight hosting the first game against the Sunshine Coast Phoenix. My name's Mark Roble, joined tonight by Shane Frolling. Shane, what do you think we've got in store for us with these ladies this evening?
Yeah, from all reports, it should be a reasonably easy game for the Townsville team, and but as I say that, their last few games they have not started well. They've had very poor first quarters, so if they're asleep, they'll get jumped on. Now, the Phoenix have a couple of players who can jump them, so you would hope Townsville take care of business tonight.
And look, a lot on the line for both teams really tonight, with the Flames sitting in top spot at the moment on the ladder, and the Phoenix, I think, sitting in fifth spot. So Phoenix only had 4 losses so far this season, so they're definitely not an easy team to beat. But, you know, speaking with Coach St. Maurice a couple of minutes ago, like he's, you know, without saying that he's feeling too much pressure, he knows how much is on the line tonight, because if they drop this game with all the other different results that could happen over this weekend, they could slip down as far as even 4th spot over the weekend. So there is a hell of a lot on this game. And, you know, so through this weekend, there's a number of matchups that are going to be key towards that, you know, top 8 positioning, and one of them already underway down on the Gold Coast. Has a little bit of a surprise right now with Gold Coast leading Ipswich by 29-20. So if Gold Coast manage to hold off that ruins Ipswich's chances of finishing in top spot.
Yeah, again, I'm looking at this game and I'm looking at the Phoenix bench. It's very skinny, so they're going to be, you can run them. I know Michael Stardy's pressing stuff. I really do think Townsville will take care of that top spot, and Phoenix will suffer from that.
And look, the big guns for the Phoenix, obviously, that the Flames need to do a great job on: Nat Hurst, Abby Bishop. You know, it's not rocket scientists. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that that's where the game's going to be won, as to how they restrict those 2 players. You know, Nat had, I think it was something like 32 last week in a loss to Southern Districts, and Abby had, I think, 20 as well. So, you know, 3/4 of their points production come out of those 2 players, so they've got to be the focus for the Flames tonight.
Yeah, and there's less interruption this week for the Townsville because they've got all their players back. You know, Darcy's had a week to come back and get herself established. And, you know, you look at Goodchild, she's been good for them. And, of course, having Alex back, fresh off the bronze medal with yourself at the World Championships.
And Stella Beck back as well. I think she's been missing the last couple of games away with the New Zealand team at the William Jones Cup. So, you know, yes, it's back to a full strength, bar the only one player still to come back for finals next week, Hayley Andrews. So the Flames will have everyone available for them tonight that is here, and, you know, really want to make sure they get that top spot, with Garvin's going to be missing next week. So we have the jump ball, and the first possession goes to the Phoenix. And you'll see Hurst taking control straight away here. Finding Bishop down on the low block with that matchup against Garvin, and a little fade away for 2.
Yeah, she's got that post stuff ready. Darcy's got to be ready for that. So a little step back to get over the height of Darcy. Good move, and I would think that's what they try and do a lot.
An early foul for Hurst there on the ball. You know, she probably didn't really want to give that one away in the first possession of the game. So Flames working over the middle on ball, kick it back to Garvin in the middle of the court. Unsuccessful with her first attempt, but they come back with the rebound.
There's Goodchild with that offensive rebound, and she's been great at that.
So attacks over the on-ball screen, misses the layup though, and Bishop comes off with the rebound.
That's that scary early stage misses each quarter. As you see, Phoenix, nice little baseline cutting at Hurst. Feeds the baseline.
And they find Amy Brown there. So Amy's, you know, not without, she's a good player in her own right. She's come through the Queensland junior system many years ago, through state teams, gone and done the college visits and done the college route, and come back a better player than what she was before she went. Bishop against Garvin again, but kicks out this time. Unsuccessful, but Bishop with the rebound. But turnover forced by the Phoenix, and it'll be now Flames ball, still looking to get themselves on the on the scoreboard, down 4-0. So Cox works over the flare screen. They find Garvin. Then Cox gets the ball back, finds Brennan underneath the hoop. Fouled by Brown and will go to the foul line for 2 shots.
Yeah, look, one of the things I noticed early with the Phoenix was they really, the last 2 times, have blocked out solid. They know that Townsville have some rebounders, so it'll be interesting to see if they can keep that up for the whole game. The other thing I'm seeing is that they're running that thing down the floor quick. They don't want the Townsville press to bug them early.
Brennan converts both, and the Flames get the opportunity to set up in their extended pressure. And Cox versus Hurst is a matchup that I've really looked forward to watching tonight as well. Though 2 very experienced WNBL level guards going at each other.
Yeah, it'd be good to see Michaela Cox have a good start. She hasn't had the best starts of late, and I'm tipping she'll want that in come the finals.
Hurst getting very open off that on-ball screen there. The Cox got hold up on it, and I think they'll need to find a quick solution as to how they're going to guard the on-ball. Can't allow Hurst to come off that open. Down the other end, Goodchild gets a good rip off the wing, and another score for the Flames. Has the score, Phoenix leading by 2.
If Phoenix don't get some help side, that should be open all night, the rip drive.
Hurst misses the early 3, and the Flames in a 3-on-1 running situation. Cox gets fouled by Bishop and will go to the line.
Bishop didn't take a backward step and bumping Goodchild either there. She was really letting her know that, hey, I'm in the paint. And a quick foul to see Michaela Cox. Let's hope she gets her buckets in early.
So you talked about the Phoenix. They're only running with 8 players tonight on this double-header road trip. So you'd imagine that part of Coach St. Maurice's plan, as always, will be to try and play high up-tempo game to make these players as fatigued as what they possibly can be.
And there's that press early, and again, much like every other week, if the team gets its head up, the back of that press is so wide open. It worries me that the back guy of that player of that press doesn't scramble back, and luckily a travel didn't hurt.
Yeah, dodged the bullet there with Berry just having a turnover. Now they find Garvin off the flare screen, sets that flare screen and finds herself open for the 3 at the top of the keyway.
They have missed that in the last few weeks.
So Beck pressuring Brown up the court here. And then an offensive foul called on Bishop on the high on-ball screen. Just a little bit of movement the referee spotted and has made that call.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go with that one. I think that one could have been let go. But as a Townsvillian, we will take it.
So the Flames with the ball now, leading by 3. And into their familiar action, swinging through. Beck attacks from the left-hand wing, misses the shot, but Brennan with the O-board, gets fouled on the putback, makes it, and will go to the line for the extra point.
And Townsville can thank Brennan for the last few weeks. She's been outstanding. She's been really strong in and around the paint, picked up some boards, and it's business like that that gets it done. And they got away with one last week simply on her back. Again, I'm looking at Phoenix. If they don't give some sort of weak side help, they are going to be in big trouble because I can just see driving lanes everywhere.
So Brennan makes the extra in the first sub for the Phoenix with Berry going to the bench, and Ashley Wallace comes into the game. Deflection out of the press by Cox, and the Phoenix will have the ball in the front court. So Phoenix looking to try and find a way to get some more touches. Bishop down low here. D straight up by the Flames. Bishop wanted some love from the rest but didn't get anything.
No, that was great D by Darcy. And here you see Michaela stick a 3. That's been missing. Darcy sticking 3s. Michaela's sticking 3s. That's a good omen for Townsville.
Bishop just remonstrating with the ref a little bit in back play there about a moving screen after she got called for one down the other end. Hurst comes down and converts with the triple, and now turnover by the Flames. Phoenix have the ball again.
You can really see Abby Bishop's dominance there. You know, the fact she had time to argue with the referee, steal it, then she goes through the defensive player, drawing the foul, and she's not happy, and the ref's about to warn her.
So she's now getting a warning by the look of it by the senior referee. Not an official warning, she's just pulled her over for a quick chat. It's Phoenix ball here now, trailing by 7. They turn it over, trying to find Hurst on a quick back cut off the pass.
Yeah, beyond Bishop and Hurst, I think they're really going to struggle. And as much as you like to say they two great players can win it, I just don't see it. If Beck had seen that lane, there's a great driving lane, you know. There's going to be so many penetration opportunities for this team. They're just man-huggers.
So Cox again just working off that two-man game with Garvin on the weak side. Finds off the on-ball screen for the pull-up too, and Cox has definitely got herself cooking early in this game. Now the Phoenix work off the on-ball, off the wing with Wallace coming off the screen from Bishop, getting fouled, and will go to the foul line herself for 2.
That was a smart move by Wallace. Drive in and get her on the hip, and she'll take the 2. We've got a score line of 17-8 and 5 minutes 11 to go as she misses the first. Second one successful, and Townsville will have it out at the baseline, and we've got a score of 17-9.
So still I've had the first sub from the Flames team with Ainsley Walsh coming in at that whistle as well for Beck. And the Flames looking at the two-man game again between Cox and Garvin. Kicks it and finds Goodchild on the weak side, and the foul's called on the floor on the drive on Wallace, and that will be team shots already with Goodchild going to the line in penalty shots.
Yeah, again, this is where the depth is really going to hurt them. So, yeah, Goodchild for 2.
So Fowler comes into the game now as well as Brennan goes to the bench. So be interesting to see how fatigue sets in for Fowler coming off that long trip back from Nits during the week. Hopefully she's got enough energy to get herself through this game and back into some confidence with this group before the finals. And silly turnover there from the Phoenix. Out of the baseline, off the make, and it's Flames ball. Leading 10 halfway through the first quarter.
Michaela Cox with a great feed to Darcy, who bobbles it in. She'll take the 2. It was a little bit awkward, but definitely a easy bucket in the end. Michaela heads up pass, and the coach of the Phoenix has said, I've had enough, time out. 21-9 with 4:43 to go.
A nice finish around the rim there for Garvin, and we'll give a quick shout out for her. She was named in the extended World Cup squad for the Opals during the week, so she heads off to Canberra on Monday, I believe it is, for a week-long camp with the Opals, a 20-member squad, as their first part of their preparation for the World Cup later this year. So obviously did enough to impress in the recent tour to China to earn herself a spot in that training camp, and you know, all of Townsville, and I'm sure all of the Queensland basketball fans as well, will be hopeful that she goes and does a great job of the camp and gives herself a great chance of heading off to Tenerife in September.
Yeah, we spoke a bit about her last week and how she certainly didn't expect to get the court time she did, and she's the rise of Darcy Garvin has been phenomenal, and she's a well-respected player now, and it's good to see.
So out of the timeout, we see the Flames in their familiar pressing setup, looking to assert some pressure on this backcourt. And you see they're obviously trying to get Hurst the ball out of her hands and make one of the other guards carry. But Hurst ends up with it. and starts to create for the Phoenix, but it's late in the shot clock already. 3-point attempt unsuccessful by...
It hit the supports there. So
by Saunders, that was.
You see Phoenix drop into a zone now, so they're really going to try and clog things up a bit, slow the movement down as Darcy takes a nice little jumper but misses. Problem with that is you can't let them get offensive boards.
So Flames missed on the putback, and the Phoenix will come and looking to push the ball down. Hurst finds Bishop ahead in transition, gets it back for the three.
Look, I'm watching Bishop. Sorry, Mark, to interrupt. I'm watching Bishop, and when she was posting early, that was something to deal with. She hasn't gone back in the paint the last few trips. She's got frustrated with the refs. I think she needs to be in the paint. As we see Fowler score down the other end. Welcome back. She is not fatigued. She's ready to go.
Great high-low find from Garvin there as Fowler just cut in behind Bishop and made a nice reverse layup.
Great pass by Bishop. Wallace misses. Darcy too big, pulls it up. Michaela is off to the races.
4 on 3 for the Flames. They decide not to take the early one, but then Garvin on the reversal pulls the trigger.
Probably could have kicked that to Michaela, who is wide open.
And Hurst here again looking to control with Walsh guarding her. Walsh too much space, and Hurst pulls up for the three. And trims the lead back to 9.
Yeah, the zone's having its effect. They'll have to work it out pretty quickly.
So Goodchild finds Cox on the wing. The zone has slowed the Flames offense down and caused a deflection. It'll be Flames ball out of bounds on the baseline with 6 seconds left on the clock as we see Brennan and Beck re-enter the game for the Flames.
A little too much dribbling against the zone for my liking. I like to see a bit more movement, a bit more penetration if you are going to dribble, and really get that zone shifting.
Cox finds Cox on the inbound. The Phoenix dodged the bullet there with her open for the three.
Great outlet by Abby Bishop, who finds Nat Hurst, who puts it up. She wants the foul, but she played for that. That's not a foul.
So Flames just looking to try and find a settling score here. They'll be looking for this high-low game, you'd imagine, and trying to find their bigs looking for each other. Walsh gets the ball off the perimeter. Nice attack through the middle and makes the layup.
There's a strong drive straight through the middle there. So, again, penetration's got to be good. Bishop plays for the foul that time. Absolutely milked it. Players have got to be aware of that she's got seniority. She is going to have a snap at the refs and she'll get what she wants.
And look, to be honest, I would actually say that was a very poor call by Kylie Vovan. She called that foul on Michaela Cox. If it was on Lisa Brennan, I could have possibly understood, but Cox read that spin move by Bishop completely, was there for the play, and probably very unlucky to pick up that foul.
Yeah, but that's the seniority of Bishop again. Yeah. You know, she's definitely a strong athlete, a well-experienced athlete, and she's going to draw that. See Michaela take it straight back at him. There you go, into the post. Nice kick, wide open for Beck. Got to make those buckets, and that's what Phoenix are banking on. They're banking on that player not making the outside shot.
So the Phoenix looking to work out this reversal set and try and find Bishop on the post. Walsh was up denying Brown, and Bishop found her very nicely on the back cut for 2.
Yeah, far too easy on that. Far too easy as we see the scoreline go 25-17, and Cox should have shot that, but opted to take the penetrating drive. Puts Alex Fowler into a position where she feeds Brennan. No one on the boards for Phoenix. Fowler gets it, nice pass, miss again. Here we go with those first quarter low percentages.
Cox open on the three-point line off that second O board. They find her and she converts. We're into the last minute here. Phoenix on the attack to the basket. Missed the layup, but O board themselves unsuccessful. And the Flames will have one more possession here and one left for the Phoenix as well, you would imagine. With 30 seconds left on the clock. Cox pulls the trigger on the pull-up, unsuccessful.
That was a great screen there by Fowler. Actually really squared off and gave Michaela great time. But you see Natalie Hurst now wait for the last 15 seconds to go to work. Definitely going to be a Bishop Hurst action here.
So working off that single on ball. They find Bishop, who popped off it. And very nice play by Bishop, going and attacking the rim. Picks up the foul on Fowler.
Yeah, you didn't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that those two were going to make the play out. And then Fowler was late to the play spot, so that is a foul. As a player, if I see that, I know I'm getting ready to help on that.
Yeah, look, definite foul there. And Bishop still remonstrated about it towards the ref. So, yeah, the foul's called. I'm not sure what more the ref can do in that situation.
Yeah, she's definitely being dominant out there as Cox throws up a over half-court prayer. And we go into quarter time. Now, before we go into talking about team and stats and all that sort of thing, I just want to go into a bit about yourself and Alex. Just done a World Championship. Yourself coming back with your second medal. First one gold, this one bronze. And Alex Fowler coming back to Townsville with a World Championship bronze medal. There aren't many here. I know Norma Connolly has a gold medal. So it's a special thing. Now, just from curiosity, I'd like to hear your point of view on Alex Fowler. How'd she go? How'd she handle things? Was she outstanding? What were the good things that she did?
Look, Alex had a great tournament. You know, she was one of our primary rotation players off the bench. You know, didn't start any games, but you know, a couple of times coming out of half time, she, you know, we had her in the group to start out there, and she was, you know, one of the first subs off the bench most games. You know, look, I think the thing that Alex did really well for us was particularly defensively. You know, she was by far our best big in on-ball screen situations. You know, when we like to get out and hedge and trap on on-balls and stuff like that, she did that really well. And her mobility as well when we were forced into switch in late on-ball screens. You know, her ability to contain guards and just keep them in front of her and use her length is really good. You know, she's got some improvements still left in her game, as all players do. And, you know, something we'd like to see Alex in the future is, you know, that a little bit more settled offensively. Sometimes, you know, rushes some decisions which lead to some turnovers, but she more than earned that bronze medal, and you know, she should be very proud of the way she played, and I know the Townsville basketball community are very proud of her as well.
Absolutely, and what an opportunity. No, she's all of, what, 17, yep. 18, and she's travelling the world. Where'd you go? Minsk?
Minsk, yeah. Mate, look, I talked to one of the local journalists about it yesterday, and something that Alex can really hang her hat on is, you know, 14 months ago or whatever it was, she missed out on that initial selection for the Asian team. Got lucky with an injury and got called into that, and you couldn't have a better model for how a player could respond to missing out on a team as to what she did.
Fantastic. And another really proud thing for us as a club is she's a Black Stars girl. So we're very happy about that.
I was waiting for that to drop, Shane. So
no, very, very well done to yourself and Alex. So great to see.
And we're back in action here, and Stella Beck gets the first score for the Flames in the second quarter. A nice penetration from the wing and found the seam against that zone. Phoenix come back the other way, and Brown takes a shot off the on-ball from Bishop. Unsuccessful. And the Flames looking like they're ready to start trying to get their running game going again, with the Phoenix going back into a man after that first possession.
Yeah, the zone got very loose very quickly. So, again, you see some good blocking out. Abby Bishop takes control.
And you see Cox now into a straight face guard on Bishop. Oh, sorry, on Hurst. So they obviously know how well she's played in that first quarter. Going to try and restrict her touches, while Bishop now converts with a three.
Maybe that's why she's not playing in the post. She's ready to drop some threes.
And back into a zone here, Phoenix. So it looks like they might be in zone on a make and man on a miss. And Beck comes down and makes the three to answer the three from Bishop.
Yeah, some good ball movement, finds Beck wide open, and she's straight into pressure here. So again, they're they're not going to lay down on them, and Phoenix will tire quickly. Good child with her eyes up. Smart pull out there.
Out of the turnover, they find Cox on the wing for three. Makes another one.
Michaela has her game with her tonight. She has not taken any of that missing stuff that she had for the last couple of weeks. Great to see. She is such a fantastic player to watch.
So it looks like the Flames are just basically in man-to-man D now, with Cox completely removing herself from help situations and taking the ball out of her hands. That hurt them there, where the attack came from the weak side. No one was there to help, and the Phoenix come away with a layup.
Michaela Cox for another. Boom!
Open again for three. Sinks another one.
The coach is going to have to address that with a 39-24, 15-point lead.
And perhaps you might see the Phoenix going to a similar defensive strategy with somebody face guarding Cox if she continues going along this route.
I'd also like to see Darcy get in the paint a bit more. I've seen her out on the perimeter a heck of a lot. And we all know she can shoot the three, but I'd like to see her go and give Bishop a little bit of grief in the paint. Make her play some defense as an older player.
Bishop, nice counter move there after Garvin took away the first move. Makes the two off the baseline inbound. And the Flames come looking for an answer from Beck from the corner for three. Overshoots. And Phoenix ball trailing 13.
A little too much heat on that one. Nice horn set coming up here for Bishop. Hurst. Michaela answers it easily.
So Hurst getting herself open off the second screen from that high on ball. Misses, and Garvin gets a rebound. Flames exploring, find Goodchild on the wing. Now just what you wanted, Froling. Garvin versus Bishop, and Garvin comes up with the make in the post.
And you know what, there's probably not a better player in this league that she could learn from, play against, emulate, you know, all that sort of stuff. The two of them going at it.
So Bishop looking for the answering three at the other end, unsuccessful. Flames get the rebound and they're off in transition. Goodchild finds Garvin and will have two shots.
Look, what I've liked tonight too is the point guard duties haven't fallen on Michaela Cox all the time. Like whichever one of those three guards, Goodchild, Beck, Cox, gets the ball, they've been shooting it up the floor and taking it down. I really like that. I like that any one of three of them getting it rather than having that controlling point guard. And I think that's hurting Phoenix. It also frees Michaela up.
And that's led to her right now. She's on 16 points, 5 of 7 shooting, including 4 or 5 from the three-point line. So that's enabled her to get her game going a little bit.
A lot of pressure here on the two guns especially, a lot of focus.
So Hurst looking to set up the flex screen for Bishop, didn't use it. Now the reversal finds Bishop late in the shot clock, has to throw up the prayer, unsuccessful.
You can see Abby Bishop there really talking to players, and that's the experience. She's clearly getting a bit frustrated because she understands the game so well. Maybe some of her teammates don't. So I think some of her aggressiveness and discussion points because of frustration there.
And Beck comes off the handoff off the wing, unsuccessful, but Fowler with the offensive board. Misses Beck with an offensive board. Comes off a high on ball screen. Cox misses that shot. And the Phoenix finally get the ball here.
Yeah, great to see the offensive boards, but someone's got to put a finish on that.
And they find Bishop fronted in the post by Cox. No help there from the weak side. And Bishop makes the easy two at the rim.
Yeah, she slows time down. She's got all the time in the world with those nice moves.
Goodchild launching the early three against the zone, unsuccessful, and Garvin called for the foul there over the back on the rebounding contest.
You know what, yes, she was over the back. Did she make an impact? No. Was it Phoenix's ball? Yes, that's a soft foul.
So we see a timeout called here for the Townsville Flames, leading 43-28, halfway through the second quarter. So quick look at the stats. We didn't do that at quarter time, but you've got Michaela Cox leading scorers for the Flames with 16 points, followed with Garvin on 9 points. And for the Phoenix, as you would expect, it's all Bishop and Hurst. So the big players for both teams are stepping up right now. Bishop with 12 points and Hurst with 9 points.
Yeah, I think what we'll start to see is a bit more Bishop inside. Well, that's what I would like to see. She is so strong in there. Townsville on the flip side, if I'm them, I'm going to talk about zone, because he's going to have to fall to a zone to rest these guys. So making sure I have my zone offense ready to go and ready to punish them. And I'd be sprinting that ball up the floor against them before they can set that thing up.
Yep. So looking at some of the other games going on at the moment, just a couple of quick score updates, and the upset is still potentially on down the Gold Coast, with the Gold Coast team leading the Ipswich team 47-40 right now. And in Mackay, another game with massive playoff implications. The Southwest Metro Pirates leading the Mackay Meteorettes 33-30 just into the second quarter.
Really aggressive trap early, and Hurst in trouble, but finds her way out.
Bishop looking to find Brown on that back cut, just overcooks the pass a little bit. Turnover, and it'll be Flames ball here.
And the other thing that I reckon would work a little bit is junking our defence up. Sometimes dropping into a zone. Let's see if they can beat you on the perimeter, and you can keep Bishop outside.
So Cox finds Garvin.
That's a great move.
Nice bump on the initial contact from Bishop, spun on her, and a nice right-hand layup.
Yeah, she snuck that under the outstretched arm, so very clever finish.
Now Bishop and Hurst looking to work the two-man game from the wing. Bishop.
Great help by Michaela Cox. Why that is not a charge, I don't know. Bishop's complaining, but that in any book is a charge. Michaela certainly didn't tip her head back and flop, and didn't matter because it went out of bounds anyway.
So Flames now working off the high on ball between Cox and Garvin.
And Hurst really bumping the heck out of Garvin in that area. Garvin should stay in there and just post her up.
Shot clock runs low. Cox needs to launch a late three from the top. Nothing but net.
Nothing they can do about that when she's feeling it like that.
And the Flames up 20 with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, the life on the Phoenix bench has been taken right out of the game as well. There's just nothing there, so they want to change that quickly if they're going to stay alive.
They miss a wide open layup at one end. Now the Flames come back down the other end. Garvin launches the three, unsuccessful. Offensive rebound by Fowler. Finds Garvin for another miss.
I would have liked to have seen Alex take that straight up. Big player get that on the rim, put it straight back in.
And look, we talked a bit earlier about some improvement for Fowler, and that's one thing she probably does need to get a little bit better at as well, is taking those opportunities off O-board. She's a very unselfish player and looks to bring her teammates into the game, probably too much at times.
It's a little bit of Warwick Giddy. As much as I love that man, he passed the ball out way too many times.
So another miss by the Phoenix, and the Flames look to work out of the on-ball here on the wing. Walsh rejects the pick. Now Garvin versus Bishop, match up on the post. Finds Fowler for the open jumper at the top.
Yeah, great find by Darcy there. And Alex to shoot that. Wide open, big to big.
And there's the half century up already with 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes 20 to go in the first half. Hurst on the back cut against Walsh, who was overplaying her. Misses the layup, contested.
You can really start to see the players getting fatigued out there for Phoenix.
And now Walsh knocks down the three. Was left wide open with Hurst not getting back as quickly, getting up off the floor from the other end.
Abby Bishop especially looks tired, so she's that there too. I think that was a bit of a charity call, but what you get when you make a bit of noise.
So Goodchild and Brennan back into the game with Beck and Fowler going back to the bench there. And, you know, is this a sign of, you know, the rotation's definitely a lot tighter tonight on that Flames bench than what we've seen in previous games. You know, the coach trying to get his team ready and steady for the playoffs, you'd imagine.
Well, looking at tonight's game compared to the last two we've called, they certainly are far sharper than last time.
So Cox misses the layup at the rim there. And now Hurst looking to attack Walsh, one-on-one from the wing.
That was good D by Walsh, keeping her arms out and straight up.
And the Flames scramble on that O board to just keep it inbound.
Oh, that was a well-designed play, but players just not ready for it. Brennan just not ready for it. She made the right cut but wasn't prepared, as we see a steal, and Goodchild goes up strong and draws a foul.
Yeah, look, the Flames are in an old Townsville Fire set that we've run for many years there, and Garvin probably expected that pass to go through to Brennan. She's used to throwing that to a Susie Bakovic or a Kayla George, and Lisa just got hung up a little bit on the screen there.
Yeah, I don't think Lisa's foot speed was quite there, and I think she's having a laugh about it right now, and Darcy thought she was quicker than she was. As you see Phoenix make a couple of subs, and there's a lot of red faces. I certainly don't mean to be disrespectful to them for saying they just can't keep the legs up with this team tonight, and it's just a fact when you only have 8 players and you're relying heavily on your 2 guns.
So the Flames convert free throws, leading 55-28. The Phoenix ball with 50 seconds to go in the first half. Nice look from the Phoenix, finding Brown on the cut. Eventually he's almost forced a turnover with Garvin deflecting a pass out of bounds. And it'll be Phoenix ball, 7 seconds to go on the sideline. Bishop finds Hurst on the handoff, who kicks back to Bishop on that screen. Open 3, knocks it down.
Yeah, I think Darcy's got to be a little more aware of that screen action, that they run that pick and pop action, so she needs to get back to that man a bit quicker. So some learning there for her on defense.
And steal there by Phoenix. Garvin just a little bit loose on the dribble, and Bishop gets the steal. Hurst creates a contact but gets the call. Yeah, and we'll go to the foul line with Phoenix trailing 55-31. Foul shots here.
Yeah, absolutely the right call. Very, very smart by her. She went into the player and absolutely created it and deserved the foul. So she lined up for 2.
So Hurst knocks down the first. We'll have an 8-second differential here, so Flames will get last possession here. And we see Coach St. Maurice take a timeout.
Yeah, he'll be taking this out to design a play, getting ready for the finals. He'll definitely design something that he'll want to use somewhere in the playoffs here. You wouldn't think being up by 22 that he's doing anything to urgently score. It's all about strategy. And
so if you're the Phoenix coach, do you press here, do you zone, like you do something just to stuff up that timeout?
Absolutely. Zone it, pack it in, make them shoot a perimeter shot. Switch, if you go to man, switch everything, just make it all ugly.
This is where you've got to have those plays in your kit bag if you're a coach, so that if a team does do that, you've got those easy defaults to run into should your chosen offense that you're drawing up not work.
Absolutely. You might even throw out an ugly 1-3-1 against it just to completely mess it up.
And it's very much looking like the Phoenix are going to take that option as they all walk into the backcourt right now. So the Flames get the ball. Beck goes all the way, uncontested, with a Phoenix player just running on her hip. And that's very poor help from the Phoenix, leading to an easy score. And at halftime, the Townsville Flames lead the Sunshine Coast Phoenix 57-33.
Yeah, that sort of full court layup uncontested is unacceptable, and it's a clear sign of fatigue. Clear sign of fatigue, and you'll see that it is half time with 57-33. For me, Phoenix have got to start getting Abby inside, a little more penetration. The defense, you cannot allow a team to score 57 in a quarter. I've especially liked the start Michaela Cox had, and even better, I've loved the way Darcy has not been intimidated by Abby Bishop and has taken it to her. She's lost a couple, but she's won a couple too.
But look, 57 points, you'd expect a super high shooting percentage. The Flames are at 48% from the field, which is not overly ridiculously high. So they've just played a high octane game and lots of possessions and been able to get some O boards and things like that. And the Phoenix they'll need to find some answers defensively to try and slow them down. Otherwise, they're really going to not stand any chance in the back half of this game.
No, I think you're going to see them play a fair bit of zone this half, and they're quickly going to realise this game's over and save what they can for tomorrow's game.
So just before we head off to the break, those score updates from the other games happening around the league in this big final round for lots of teams competing for the last playoff spots. Ipswich have got their nose back in front now against the Gold Coast, leading 50, it's all tied actually now, 58 each with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter at the Gold Coast. And the Southwest Metro Pirates are starting to assert that little bit of dominance over the Mackay Meteorettes, leading by 10 with 1 minute 48 to go in the first half in Mackay. So we'll take a break now, and we'll join you again with about a couple of minutes to go before the start of the third quarter. We'll speak to you then. All right, welcome back to Townsville Star FM Stadium, aka the Furnace, for the Townsville Flames versus Sunshine Coast Phoenix matchup. Flames leading at halftime 57-33. I'm Mark Roble, joined with me tonight in commentary Shane Frolling. Shane, you've probably had a little bit of time to think. Phoenix, what do they do to try and get themselves back into this game?
Look, they're not going to get back in this game. They just have to try and slow everything down, save some legs. The zone has worked for them early in slowing the scoring down, but as soon as Townsville woke up to it, there were big holes everywhere. You can see the likes of Abby Bishop, and she looks like she's angry and frustrated, but that's just an experienced player, and I've been there, I know what she's going through, but she's played at such a level of excellence. She expects everyone to be on their game, and at this level, they're not always there. So as much as she argues and whinges and she's frustrated, that's just her trying to be the best she can be. And her and Natalie both have to start to dominate this game if they're going to be any chance.
So I had a quick chat with Coach St. Maurice before I come up, and obviously he's reasonably happy with where they're at right now. Thinks they've done a good job on Hurst. You know, they could do a bit of a better job on Bishop. He's expecting them to try and play a lot more two-man game with those two in on-ball situations through the second half to try and bring them back into the game. But he's been happy with their shot selection offensively and the way they've played down that end, as you should be, scoring 57 points in a half. So he's just looking for more of the same, and hopefully that gets them out to this guaranteed top spot and top seed for the finals.
He's a hard man to please if he's not happy with that first half performance. I mean, much better in the first quarter than we have been for a while. Seeing Michaela Cox sticking those threes is fantastic. Darcy coming in, mixing up a bit of inside-outside. Got to be happy with that.
So at halftime, statistically, Cox leads the scorers for the Flames with 19 points. And you've got Garvin with 11 points and 5 rebounds, and Cox also 4 assists to go along with her tally. And for the Phoenix, it's all been the Bishop and Hurst show, with Bishop having 15 points and 8 rebounds and 2 steals at the half, with Hurst having 11 points at the half. So no other really significant contributors at all for the Phoenix. Whereas the Flames have, you know, a number of other scorers with, you know, they've had, you know, more bench points, obviously 9 bench points, and they'll be looking to try and push this thing out early, I would imagine, in this quarter.
And if I'm Mike St. Moritz, I'm asking my team to move the ball quickly, whether it's against the zone or not, and run it down their throat as well as apply pressure D. Their legs will go from under them quick. So
an early indication of the Flames' defensive strategy perhaps there. Bishop got double teamed on that first post catch. They did force a turnover, and Flames will get the opportunity to extend this lead early in the third quarter.
Phoenix look to be playing a very drops type of defense, clog the middle up, see if they can not allow as much penetration from the start of this thing.
Bishop launches the 3 off one pass from Hurst, unsuccessful, and Flames ball off the baseline here.
And one of the risks of that with your bench being so skinny and such a short team is your biggest and best player being out there shooting threes. You don't have much in the rebounding side of things, and but again, if she hits those threes, it makes it all worthwhile. I would love to be able to say that she should shoot it and board, but probably getting a bit older, it's a bit harder on us older folk.
So Hurst with the steal as switch rolls. Garvin came off the Cox on-ball screen there. And Phoenix taking advantage of that, and Hurst getting her hands in for the steal. Now Hurst getting open off the screen from Bishop, unsuccessful, long on the shot, and Goodchild off running.
Exactly
finds Garvin.
Yeah.
2 points.
Run it down their throat, pressure them up the floor, move the ball.
You see there the Phoenix looking to try and get Bishop open off the screen from Hurst. The double team coming from the Flames again. Bishop does find the receiver, but there's a foul called on the shot.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there. We'll wear that one. Might have been a bit of sympathy from the ref, but definitely a bit of contact, so we'll wear it.
And Saunders will go to the line for 2 shots here.
We see Ainsley Walsh come in for Stella Beck.
So just a quick update, that game down the Gold Coast, which has massive playoff implications. Ipswich now leading by 4 with 3 minutes 53 to go.
No way should that rebound occur. So luckily Hurst misses it. And Michaela just runs it down their throat. Walsh for the 3.
Knocks it down. And lead extends again for the Flames. Flames basically allowing these other players to do what they want right now. Saunders takes advantage of that and gets a deep seal on Brennan, picks up the foul and will go back to the foul line again.
Yeah, all she had to do there was be big. Didn't need to reach in, keep them arms up, reach in, you give the ref every chance to call it. We have a scoreline of 61-35. See Natalie Hurst talking to the coach. He's shaking his head. They're all a bit rattled as to what to do.
And the Phoenix staying matched up here. They haven't shown the zone yet in this second half. Flames find Garvin off a back screen, who finds Goodchild for a rip down, straight down the middle of the split line.
You can see the fatigue there. No one reacted very quickly for the Phoenix on that rip drive. 3 players sort of watched and allowed it to happen.
Bishop attacks Garvin down the other end, makes the 2. The Cox pushes the ball straight back down the other end. The Flames not giving the Phoenix any rest here. You see Garvin battle Bishop out of the high post. And foul called, I would say, on Saunders off the ball here on a little check on the cut from Goodchild.
When you watch Bishop when she's playing defense on Darcy, she's not looking at the ball. She's looking at her numbers, and she matches her body movement. You know. A young Bishop would be something scary to deal with out there.
So they trap the on-ball screen from Cox. She kicks back over and finds Goodchild in the weak side corner. On penetration, gets to the rim again. Another 2 for Goodchild.
Snaked through really, really easily there. Far too easy.
You see the Hurst Bishop on-ball screen. Bishop found off the pop. Misses the shot this time. It's Flames ball leading 65-38.
Yeah, again, there's something there. You know, Darcy has probably got to be a little more aware of Bishop there. She can make them, but that one was not going that way. But Darcy was nowhere near her.
So Flames a little stagnant on this set. They end up finding Garvin with an opportunity to attack from the wing. Bishop sticks her hands in, picks up, I think that's her 3rd foul on Bishop, so a little bit lazy. I'm not sure if I was a coach I'd be happy with, you know, giving the foul away that easily for a marquee player.
Well, Darcy's got to realise too, you know, as much as I had a go at her at the other end, that was fantastic. She just blew by her. She had no chance of guarding her. And Darcy, if she realises that, she will be able to take it at her for the rest of the game.
So Goodchild comes over the middle pick, picks up the ball, and a good job done defensively by Clancy there. Just got up in Goodchild's space and picks up the offensive foul. Goodchild on the brush off. Phoenix using some high Iverson cut over the high screens here. Brown finds Bishop off the back cut, but nothing there. Wallace launches the 3, successful.
Yeah, that was one of the great Wollongong plays. They love that high double screen action. If they go cheek too far out, there's a little lob. Used to be a lob to Seville, but look at a Goodchild again, driving like no one is even there, and gets a foul, goes for 2. The other good thing was see Darcy straight behind her to clean up the boards if needed.
Foul picked up there by Clancy. She really had to come over and help where Bishop couldn't there because of that third foul that she just recently picked up. Good child back to the line.
I actually wouldn't be surprised, you know, I would hope it wouldn't happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if at some stage they start resting the better players. There is no life at all in the bench from the coaching staff, the team. So somewhere they may holster their guns.
They're in an interesting spot, the Phoenix, because they're sitting in 5th spot with a 12-4 record right now. You know, a loss here gets that 5th loss. You know, they really need to make sure they pick up that game tomorrow night. Otherwise, they could slip out of 5th spot and Rockhampton could move past them.
Geez, that was a great pass. You got to finish that. So Townsville running it straight back down their throat. Walsh pulls out.
Now Garvin with the mismatch. Finds Walsh back on the perimeter.
Have a look at that shot that Lisa Brennan instead drives to the basket.
Bust out dribble by Bishop off the defensive board, finds Hurst. She looks like she's in the mood to get a shot off here. But Goodchild does a good job just taking away her first options. We find Bishop again off that pop from the on-ball screen. Bishop makes the three, and surely Coach St. Maurice needs to make an adjustment on what he's doing with that on-ball screen between Hurst and Bishop, because that's keeping them just within touching distance right now by being able to convert every odd possession and keeping them close enough to just put a little bit of worry into the game.
Yeah, you got to pick your poison. As I said, you know, it's more of a gamble if you let Bishop shoot it, because she can stick it from that range easily. You talked earlier about the bust-out dribble. I would love to see more of our big players doing that. I think you get that rebound, take that instant burst, 1-2 dribble. As long as you've got enough vision up the floor to see a kick it ahead, it's such a game changer when you get that first explosive dribble and kick it up the floor on the fast break.
And look, that's been a staple of somebody like Abby Bishop's game for many years, that ability in that 4 spot to get a rebound, bust out and get her team running. Has been something she's done over her long career. So, you know, it would be great to see more bigs, you know, being able to develop that skill set, be able to really initiate the offense by getting that rebound and allow the guards to get ahead and really test teams defensively in transition.
Yeah, it's something I do with my juniors all the time. I don't care who gets it. I'm like, the first thing you do is you have a look straight up the floor. If you can take 1 or 2 punch dribbles and then kick it, go for your life.
So Goodchild off the rip from the wing, no help again, and she just finishes at the rim for another 2, and Goodchild accumulating at will in this 3rd quarter right now.
Darcy definitely seems a little more aware of Bishop on the perimeter, so I dare say the coach has spoken to her about it.
So it looks like a little adjustment they made there off that first on-ball set. You know, they went and trapped it and went a little bit harder after Hurst on the on-ball, and they really loaded up the weak side to try and pick up Bishop as a roller from the weak side. Cox finds Goodchild in the corner off penetration. Shot misses. And Phoenix off running now. Clancy attacking the hoop. Unsuccessful. Now the Flames straight back at the Phoenix again. Nice deflection, turnover. And the Phoenix looking to come down a little bit more settled with this next offense. Hurst comes off the handoff. Works herself into Cox but doesn't get the call. Now Fowler, 1-on-1 in the post, finds Garvin on the kick-out 3, unsuccessful.
That's that one I talked about, Fowler getting it in the post there. Go up with a nice little hook shot. Be strong, be confident.
She's got a size mismatch there on her, player, so that's where she really does need to learn that ability to back herself a bit.
This last few minutes has really been quite ugly basketball from both teams. It's certainly not helping Townsville, as you see Abby get a nice pass from Nat Hurst there and finish.
So the thing is, we haven't really seen Michaela Cox get many shots in this third quarter as yet. You know, she's cooled herself right down and looked to facilitate more, and that's slowed the Flames' offense right down.
Yeah, look, right now I just see the Flames over dribbling the ball. I think they need to move it a little bit more, and if you are going to dribble, make it a penetrating, attacking dribble.
So offensive rebound by the Phoenix, finds Brown on the perimeter, knocks down the three, and it's back to 20 points. The Flames leading 69-49.
So you're over dribbling this ball the whole time there. A bit more movement, just like that, and Darcy should be finishing that.
Yeah, just rushed that finish. You know, saw the help defense coming and threw it up off the glass way too quickly. Phoenix find Brown again on a cut to the rim. She's done very well with that denied. When she's been a little bit denied or working off the weak side, she's got to the rim. Hasn't converted a lot of early ones, but has made her last couple.
Alex Fowler set a great screen there. Really knocked the wind out of one of the players, and unfortunately we missed the layup. But I'm tipping if we don't get a couple of buckets here, and Phoenix do, Mike may have to use a timeout.
Which he's already used one, so you would presume he doesn't want to, use those up in this third quarter anymore.
No, but Phoenix have got a bit of life back in them. They've made Townsville play ugly basketball.
Goodchild open off the wing for the three, unsuccessful, but offensive rebound by Brennan.
Yeah, 1 on 3, she cleans that up.
Fowler finds Brennan on the dive from the high post. Brennan back to Fowler, unsuccessful. And Phoenix opportunity to trim this lead again. Hurst pushes down the floor, gains a contact, makes the basket, and will go to the foul line.
Well, I'm about to eat my words saying they're dead, they're gone, they're going to holster it. They're certainly not doing that, and they are coming back hard.
It's probably been poor Flames offense, actually, which has led their charge. It's just been some bad options that allowed them to get these easy rebounds, and they're pushing the ball out now.
Well, it's both bad options and bad rules. You know, I'm watching shots go up, and there's one person, well, Lisa Brennan on the boards. No one else crashing the board. So, get your rules, move the ball, get after the rebounds, hustle on the defensive end, and you'll be right.
Good flare screen there set by Fowler to get Cox open. Now Fowler finally goes to work in the paint. Reverse layup. Makes the easy two.
That's what
and
I'm
hopefully
talking
she
about.
learns a little bit from that.
Yeah, she's got to back herself. She's strong. Good help by Fowler there. But her player pops out to make the baseline jumper. That is a foul all day, every day. Certainly should be 3 shots. How that is not 3 shots, I have no idea.
So at three-quarter time, the Townsville Flames, not quite as potent offensively in that third quarter, lead the Sunshine Coast Phoenix 71-56. And the Phoenix take away that quarter 23-14.
Yeah, here's the question. Can the Phoenix keep that tempo up? I would think they're running out of legs. If Townsville are smart, they just move that ball, get them on the back foot, get back into some of their pressing, which has really bothered them. Start attacking by moving the damn ball. Move that thing around, get some finishes, get me some offensive boards. Certainly sitting Darcy out in that last couple of 3 or 4 minutes has hurt the Flames as well.
And they went just that little bit passive, like they were trying to protect the lead, trying to run through a bit of shot clock and reduce the number of possessions, and that allowed the Phoenix just to get some good stops. I think the Flames here, if I'm Coach St. Maurice, so you've got to get back to your attacking brand in the first 5 minutes of this thing. When they're playing the high possession game against the Phoenix, which they did early, that's where they got out to a great lead and scored at will. They probably just got a little bit bogged down there. Some credit to the Phoenix and taking away those transition scores and making the Flames have to scramble through some offense. But for the Flames' perspective, they just really need to get back to attacking basketball the first couple of minutes of this quarter.
Yeah, and I think one of the keys, I'd be really going at Abby Bishop, get Darcy in there. Go at Abby Bishop again. You know, let's see. Darcy, you had a good start on her, so I'd like to see her go at her again.
Well, she's got those 3 fouls, so if you can go and get her 4th early in this quarter, then it basically just makes her a passenger out there defensively because they can't afford to not have her on the court.
And you made the point earlier, Michaela Cox just went quiet.
So Flames ball to start off the final quarter here. They look to find Garvin in that matchup against Bishop early. And Garvin makes the 2 to get the Flames kicked off with the first score of the final quarter.
That's exactly what I like to see. Darcy in there.
Bishop looks to answer at the other end, but the elbow jumper bobbles out. And the Flames, again, yeah, they're looking here, you would suggest, to try and look for Garvin on the post. First 2 possessions, she's looked to get that touch, but Bishop did a good job getting a hand and deflecting there, and Garvin ends up with the foul.
Yeah, and I talk to my post players all the time. That was a soft post up. You allowed that player to come over your shoulder, Darcy, get your ass down. It's like blocking the player out. Block him out, get a target, be strong.
So Bishop v Garvin, but Bishop passes it out. Wallace open at the elbow for a jumper, makes the 2.
Geez, that percentage has gone up in this last quarter and a bit.
Flames finally get a touch. Cox on the ball. Doesn't look at her option though. Goodchild open for 3 on the wing. Unsuccessful. Miss 15, looking to get 15-point lead, looking to get reduced here by the Phoenix. And Hurst finds Bishop off the on-ball. Rotation comes over from Beck, and Bishop called for the charge.
That's her 4th foul, and I think the referee realised it because she had a bit of a dance, and I thought she was going to tech her. I've seen her throw some early techs, but I think Bishop realised, and the referee held off.
That might take a little bit of sting out of the Phoenix, that 4th foul for Bishop. She's going to need to be careful here now.
Yeah, straight at her I would be going.
You see the switch on that on-ball on the wing, and Garvin looking to post up Brown, but they don't get her the ball.
Again, stagnant, dribbling nowhere. Moves the ball, moves the ball. There you go.
Goodchild looks to attack, not there, but finds Garvin open on the 3-point line. 3 points to Garvin.
Far better when that ball is skipped around to find an open player.
And in that other game, Ipswich Force have come from behind and taken the 11-point win over Gold Coast. So that solidifies them probably in 2nd spot, you would imagine, as long as the Flames hold on here for the win.
We see Abby Bishop again post strong and just make an easy 2 as we get down the other end. Better ball movement this time.
Cox finally gets a shot attempt and makes the 3.
Far better, finds her wide open, and that's what Michaela did well for us in the first half.
Deflection by Beck on the long transition pass there, and it'll be Phoenix ball on the baseline here. So the Flames back to a 19-point lead now with 7:26 to go.
I have a little concern about the on-ball screen with Bishop. They certainly, as you said earlier, got to address it. Bishop smartly has figured out when they're trying to recover on that pop, she started rolling a lot more, and she's getting some easy post-ups and big wide open targets.
Yeah, so they were sending that wing running from the weak side to come and cover her off. And you're right, Bishop's just taken advantage of that and tried to get the guard rolled down now. So double team on Bishop on the post, finds Wallace.
Yeah.
Another 2.
That second rotation, if they're going to do that, the second rotation from up high has got to get there far, far quicker.
So the Flames find Cox on the wing. She comes off the on-ball from Brennan. Switches there, and Brennan looks to go to work in the post on the smaller player.
That's smart play there. Clearly knew she had a mismatch, so goes strong to the bucket.
And we'll see 2 shots for Brennan here.
And we're looking at a 17-point lead with 7 minutes to go.
In the other game in Mackay, we see Southwest Metro in control by 10 points there, deep into the third quarter over the Mackay Meteorettes. Both those two teams playoff bound next week and actually could end up playing against each other in the first round of the playoffs.
Natalie Hurst goes 1 on 3, misses, but they nearly come up with a board there. So Townsville, just a few little things like that shot goes up, block out, finish this game, put a nail in it.
So Beck on the ball here now. They've tried to get Cox a little bit more free by putting it back into the 2. Nice touch pass from Garvin out to Beck on the perimeter. Garvin now open in the short corner, unsuccessful, but low board by Walsh. Bishop comes up with the D board. And the Phoenix really need to string some scores here now to put any pressure back on the Flames.
That's far too easy by Michaela Cox. You know, tried to body up there. She needed to keep a good gap. And watching the Phoenix, they seem to be doubling aggressively on the on ball. If they do that, they have to find this, the mismatch in the big.
So Brennan kicks out of the mismatch. Now Garvin finds Beck on a handoff. Beck finds Brennan at the rim, 2 points.
Yeah, that's a great pass. Really, really good pass. And takes them back out to an 18-point lead. Again, good ball movement. Get out there, swing that thing around, find the gap, penetrate, hit the open play.
Timeout called there by the Sunshine Coast Phoenix. So we're 82-64 with 5 minutes 49 left on the clock. You know, for the Flames, they've been a lot better attacking in this in the final quarter. But you would think that probably starting to think the possession game fairly shortly and trying to make sure that there's not enough possessions for the Phoenix to trim this lead.
Yeah, Phoenix are going to have to hit everything. I don't know how much they can pressure up the court. They're certainly very skinny on the bench, so if they are going to pressure for the next 6 minutes, it's going to take a lot out of their stars, which you would think would affect their shooting.
Now look, their stars are used to that. You know, Hurst and Bishop are probably averaging high 30s minutes a game. You know, they've been doing that all season, so they're in good enough condition to do it, but it's whether the other players are supportive enough to be able to help them, you know, up the ante a little bit when you need it.
Yeah, I'm still running the heck out of those stars. I'm saying if you want to play 38, 40 minutes, stay with me up and down the floor.
So Phoenix back out of the timeout here now. Looking at a horn set. Come off, find Bishop on the pop again. Misses that shot, and you probably start to take that gamble a little bit with the Flames now and don't allow her to get those roll downs if she wants to keep shooting those threes. Just try and get someone near enough to contest it a bit.
Yeah, you have to respect her. She can come good.
So Flames take some time out, and Brennan, recognising she had the matchup with Bishop, attacked her but was unsuccessful in the layup. Hurst, early 3 in transition, makes it.
Yeah, and those easy misses really hurt when someone comes down and nails a 3. You got to make those layups.
The Flames now looking to try and find Garvin with the mismatch on the post. She kicks out to Walsh, wide open on the 3, misses.
And you know what? That's what Phoenix want. Darcy was open early. The guards did not see it. You've got to get her that ball early. By the time they got it to her, there was a double team on her. And she did the right thing throwing it out, but Phoenix got what they want. A long shot.
Now Hurst launches the 3 off the on-ball, unsuccessful. Flames with 4 minutes 20 to go on the clock, up 15.
You know what I'd like to see actually with this is I'd love to see whoever's guarding Hurst, I'd love to see her pull it right out to the side, and whoever Abby Bishop's guarding is make her come out and play an on-ball screen out high.
Turnover by the Flames there, and Phoenix get the easy transition basket. Timeout called by the Townsville Flames. Coach St. Maurice, just a little bit of panic here, back to 13 points. Needs to make sure that they execute well here. And look, I do like that idea that you just threw out there, Shane. You've Bishop on those 4 fouls. Let's put some pressure onto her, get her in an on-ball screen on the wing, see how that react to that. If they switch it, I'd then try and clear out and allow the guard to then just go and attack Bishop in a one-on-one.
Absolutely. You know, it's the old, we used to call it quicks, other people have call it fist, but flatten 3 players out on that baseline, get that on-ball screen happening out high. Bishop can't stay with Cox. Go to work on it, and if she does foul in it, that's the end of her game.
And put the pressure on the referees to really watch that contest as well in an open space environment.
Yeah, and if they switch, you got Darcy rolling against the guard, find her on the hit. So probably something Mike will look at in the future during the finals, I would think.
So, Mike, when you go back and listen to the replay of this game, there's some little tips for you from the Mr. Froling.
Especially when you got a stud in foul trouble. That was a
loose
foul.
Possession from the Flames there, almost turned the ball over. Beck open for 3 in the corner, unsuccessful.
See, that's what they want. They want the 3. It's the time to move it and get to the rim.
The Phoenix here now, interesting. Hurst playing off the ball and Brown bringing the ball up. Looking to run a little horns out action to try and get Hurst free off the flare. They don't get it. She gets it back off the handoff.
And Michaela Cox is having nothing to do with that, but she chased so hard, she eventually lost her. She ended up on Bishop somehow. So, but the miss works for him.
Hurst missed that 3. She eventually got open and had a wide open 3. Dangerous shot for the Flames, but she didn't make it. You see the Flames just slowing down.
There you
There's
go.
the switch that they wanted, but only 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Goodchild's got a rush from the wing and shot clock violation.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Fowler's got Bishop on her. Now, Fowler, when she rolled, she should have dived straight in front of the rim. She just ran to the top of the charge circle, straight to the rim. There's an easy feed layup with a mismatch.
I think where they missed the opportunity was the earlier on ball on the wing, though, where Goodchild just came off way too quickly. Where Fowler was coming to set that screen, you would have had that switch earlier. They dodged the bullet, and Phoenix misses the shot at the other end through Wallace.
Cox is playing the slow down game there. Could have run it down their throat, but chose to run an offense.
Goodchild rejects the pick. Ooh. Goes baseline and hard foul at the rim there. Goodchild comes up just clutching in her mouth a little bit, whether she got some teeth rattled there a little bit.
Yeah, she does a great job of that base rip. She's got that really quick rip through and drive. A bit Kevin McCarlish, my favourite NBA player. Rip, drive, get to the rim. That was a hard foul, so we'll see if it's rattled her at all for these foul shots.
That was a hard foul by Courtney Brown there.
She definitely had a smile on her face when she hit her. That's my kind of foul.
We know. Anyone who's lived in this century knows that that's your sort of foul.
If you're going to foul them good. Don't throw karate kicks out there, but certainly foul them.
So we're at 15 with 2 minutes 26 to go. Phoenix really needing to convert on this possession to be any chance. Bishop gets the open 3, doesn't knock it down though. Foul on the rebounding contest from Courtney Brown, and it'll be Flames ball.
You know, I've whinged about the Townsville one. That's soft also, but hey, at least the referees are consistent. They're going to call it soft. It's both ways.
The Flames looking to come down and slow a possession here, you'd imagine. They get the switch on the on ball, and Garvin, the opportunity to attack Brown, kicks out, finds Cox with just a little too much on the pass, turnover.
Yeah, Darcy's been a little frustrated this last quarter. She should have shot that. She's right on the rim, go up strong and shoot it. Instead, it's a turnover, and she's annoyed at herself.
Quick 3 from Bishop, and the score margin is at 12 now. Inside the last 2 minutes. So Garvin now gets the ball on the post, going to work against Brown. She muscles up well. Good little cut in from the weak side from Goodchild, but unsuccessful on the shot. Phoenix, are they good enough to get home and get back into this game. You see Bishop again open on the 3, but just overcooks the shot a little bit there. The Flames really need to take some time out on this possession.
The refs are not going to call anything this last minute. You can bet that.
So running the clock down here into the last 10 seconds of the shot clock. Big to big screen between Garvin and Fowler. Garvin finds Fowler on the rim for the layup.
Look, there's no doubt this game is over, but I'm actually disappointed this isn't a 20-plus point game. This has been a really, really sloppy second half by the Flames, and they're going to have to go away and review that come finals time.
So Phoenix ball from the sideline after the foul there called on Michaela Cox, leading by 14, 51 seconds to go.
Be very aware of Bishop in the post here. Fight around that. You cannot stand behind her, but luckily she fumbles it.
And the Flames, off the turnover, look to just take the air out of the ball here and run this clock down. Garvin and Fowler playing a little bit of back and forth again.
And that will be the 5th foul.
And Fowler will step to the line now for penalty shots. And talking of Fowler in the World Championship campaign, anyone saw the bronze medal match, she hit 2 very big free throws down the stretch to help try and seal that game for Australia, after she'd missed 2 earlier in that quarter. So a little bit inconsistent from the foul line.
Still great experience, you know, you're playing on the world stage, nailing 2 free throws to seal the game, something she'll never leave behind out of her mind.
Hurst with the transition 3. But it's all a little bit too little too late here for the Phoenix.
Look, even that's really sloppy. You know, Darcy's last quarter, second half hasn't been good. Is it fatigue? Is it laziness? Is it, you know, as much as I love her as a player, she's got to tidy up on that sort of stuff.
And the clock will run out here now for a Townsville Flames victory in the final round. 87-75. The Townsville Flames securing top spot and home court advantage for the QBL playoffs. They'll be happy with a nice season that they've put together, with their final record for the season ending at 16-2. Those 2 losses, one coming against the Southern District Spartans, who will be in the playoff race, and the second one is just escaping me right now where that other loss, I think Rockhampton was the other loss. So, you know, they're looking probably right now at a quarter-final matchup with, you would suggest, maybe either the North Gold Coast Seahawks or the Mackay Meteorettes next week.
Yeah, look, for me, the Townsville got a lot of work to do. I thought they did some work this week at addressing their first quarter woes, but then they let the second half woes sneak in. So come finals time, you can't have those mistakes. You have those mistakes, it's going to bite you. The good news was Michaela Cox was, boom, back on game right from the get-go. Definitely dropped off a little bit. The sloppiness of their passing game, I'd like to see their turnovers, because I think they would be up there. And then just little things like blocking out. Get that done, saves you buckets.
Now the Sunshine Coast Phoenix will head up to Cairns tomorrow night, and they'll really need that win. They're currently sitting now at a record of 12-5. You know, Rockhampton sitting just below them on 11-6. So Rockhampton will meet Southwest Metro tomorrow night, which will be a massive game again as far as playoff perspective is concerned. So I think Sunshine Coast will be hoping they get through that match, and that probably sets up a juicy matchup with them taking on Southern Districts in the first round of the playoffs, you would imagine. So we're finished here with the first game of the night from Star FM Stadium in Townsville. The Townsville Flames winning 87-75 and securing top spot for the playoffs. Thank you for watching the game tonight, and we'll be back very shortly to see the Heat take on the Phoenix in the men's game.